DreAllDay.com.
What's good, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Today we're talking about selling yourself. And any of you who are in any type of field where you're going to have to convince or persuade or get people's attention in order to get them to do what you want them to do, whether that's offer you a contract, give you a job, become your client, become your customer. You're trying to even get somebody to sit down and meet with you for the potential of them becoming a client or a customer, or just to even be a prospect, just to get them interested in what you're doing. You're going to have to sell yourself. And everything you do in life, you're going to have to sell yourself. Whether you're trying to be an employee, whether you're trying to be an owner, you want people to come work for your company. They might have multiple companies that want them to come work for them. Or if you find a good worker, they got a bunch of people offering them deals. How are you going to sell yourself, your product, your service, your company, your ideas to other people? And this doesn't even have to be involved in the work world or the business world. You want to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. If you're a parent and you want your kids to listen to you. If you're a coach and you want your players to listen to you. If you're recruiting, if you're a coach, you got to sell yourself, because people are really buying into you. It's not the job, it's not the money, it's not even always the opportunity. It's the person that they're going to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis, which is going to be you. You got to be able to sell yourself. So I'm going to give you 3 principles that you need to follow if you want to sell yourself in life, in anything that you do. Doesn't matter what industry, what your age, where you're from, or any of that. You follow these 3 principles, it will work to help you sell yourself. Number 1, and actually before I even go into that, I do have a book called The Seller's Mindset. There are more principles. This is not everything. It's not a comprehensive list, but just know these 3 you do need to follow. Number 1, you want to sell yourself to other people. You must be, do, or have something that is worthy of people's attention. Think about that. You want people to listen to your podcast, you better be talking about something that people want to hear, or you better be somebody that people want to listen to, or you better be offering them something that they're going to get that makes them want to pay attention to it. Because how many podcasts are out there? Or if you want somebody on your YouTube, or you want somebody reading your book, or you want somebody to come into your business, you want somebody to come to your hot dog stand when there's 30 other hot dog stands in town, you have to be, do, or have something that is worthy of people's attention. Because if what you're offering isn't worthy of their attention, then they can't even know about it, let alone choose it. Again, I'm just saying attention. I'm not saying that they're even going to come in, or that they're going to do it, or that they're going to buy it. First, you got to get people's attention, because I can't buy something if I don't know it exists, right? I couldn't buy this hat if I didn't know it was possible to go buy it. I couldn't buy this camera if I didn't know the camera existed. So the first thing you got to do is get people's attention. Get them to even look in your direction, because if what you're offering is that way and I'm only looking this way, how can I even buy it? It's impossible, because I don't even see it. So you got to be, do, or have something, hopefully all 3. Now, it'd be best if you do all 3. Become something that people are paying attention to as a person. Do something that people actually want. So offer people something that they are looking for, that they're buying, that they're paying attention to, and have something so that when they look for it, you actually have something to offer them that they're like, oh, you know what, I need to go here, because I'm going to get something there that is useful for me. So you got to put yourself in the frame of mind of the other person, whoever it is you're trying to sell yourself to. Be, have, or do something that is worthy of people's attention. Number 2, you want to get people's respect when you're selling yourself. Number 1, the most important thing that I see happening to freelancers and entrepreneurs out there is that they are lowering their prices, underselling themselves, because they're afraid of missing out on clients, missing out on money, quote unquote missing out. And then what they end up doing is undervaluing, devaluing their product, devaluing their service, and then in the long run they feel resentful because they're giving more than they're actually getting. They're giving so much value in their work, but they're charging so little that they're not making as much as they want to make. They don't feel like they're getting what they should be getting with their prices, but they can't figure out how to do it. They can't figure out how to raise that price, because they feel like they're going to miss out on some people if they raise their price to a certain level. Well, here's the first thing. Let's let the cat out of the bag. Of course you're going to miss out on some money. You're going to miss out on some money from people that you don't even need as clients. So what you need to do, this is point 2, raise your prices. I would say double your prices. Whatever you're charging right now, double it. And if you're an employee, you can double it too. So if you're expecting to make 40,000, ask for 80. You're expecting 100, ask for 200. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get it, but double your price. Because when you double your price, this is what it does, people. First of all the cheap people who you've been, scraping to get to because you don't want to miss out on their money, you'll blow them completely out of the market. That they're not even possible to be your clients anymore. And that's okay. Maybe a little bit fearful, but it's completely okay. And let me tell you why it's okay. Because there are people who are at that higher level, that double price level, who only look at people who are charging this much. They won't even look at somebody who is charging what you're charging right now, because they are figuring unconsciously, if that's all you're charging, you're probably not any good. that's all you're charging, you probably don't have much experience. If that's all you're charging, you're probably not bringing much value to the table in what you're doing. So you need to double that price, because you're going to open yourself up to a whole new market of individuals who will pay you. And again, when your price is double, listen, you don't need all these bottom feeding people, because if you get one person who's up here, it might make up for 5 or 6 of these people that are down here. Does that make sense? Now, that's point number 2. Number 3, again, we're talking about how to sell yourself. Be able to justify that price. Now, if you're going to double your price, somebody's going to challenge you on that. They're going to say, well, why is that the price? Why are you charging this? Somebody else only charged me this much. Or I heard that you used to charge this much. Or you only been in business this long. Or you only do this. Or all I need is this. Why are you charging me this much money? You got to be able to answer that question. You must be able to justify the price that you are charging. Now, let me tell you how you justify it. This is a topic that's covered on my podcast called Work on Your Game. If you're not subscribed to my podcast, you need to be on it. What you need to explain to people is that they are not paying you for the actual work and the time and the actual product or service, whatever it is that you're giving, to them. What they're paying for is the expertise that you have developed over time in order to get to the position that they're having a conversation with you. See, when someone's having a conversation, let's say, for example, you're a personal trainer in the gym, and you're charging 3 times as much as every other personal trainer in the neighborhood. Somebody asks, well, why do you charge 3 times as much? Now, first of all, not everybody's going to ask that question, because there's some people who are looking for the highest price person because they unconsciously assume the highest price means also the best. There are people, unconsciously, a lot of us think that way. The thing that costs the most must be the best, right? We think a Lamborghini is better than a Toyota, even though they could both get us from point A to point B. Why do we think a Lamborghini is better? Because it costs more money. But it's not like most of us are going to a racetrack and racing with our cars. All we're doing is driving from here to the store, to school, to work. But we unconsciously believe the Lambo is better just because it costs way much more money, even though both of them do the exact same thing. So you can do the exact same thing yourself in your business. Here's what you do when somebody asks that. Why are you charging more money? For the few people who will ask, not everybody will. You're paying me for the expertise that I've developed over the years in order to get to this position. If I'm a personal trainer, it took me 10 years to develop this skill, and I worked with this person, this person, this person. I got all these testimonials, got all these past clients, all this proof of my work, all the expertise that I developed over the years, all the things that I know, and the fact that I can guarantee you results, because look at all these people who I've helped already. That's what you're paying for. You're not paying for an hour of training. You're not paying for the gym. You're not paying for the park that we're working out in. You're not paying for me telling you what foods to eat, because you can get that from any clown that's a personal trainer. What you're paying for is the expertise that this is guaranteed to work, and the fact that you're working with the best. And you need to say it with some conviction. You need to say it with the proper posture that you actually believe what you're saying. Because if you don't believe it, they're not going to believe it, and they're not going to buy. So that's how you sell yourself. If any of you want to know more about selling yourself, first of all, subscribe to the Work on Your Game podcast. Second of all, get my book. It's called The Seller's Mindset at dreallday.com/sell, SELL. Work on your game, dreallday.com.